So many people think you have to be this amazing, techie, geeky person to succeed in digital marketing. And that if you didn't grow up with the internet or social media, or if you still remember what a floppy disk is, then you've simply missed the boat. And that is just so not true. We've had thousands of professionals, executives, and business owners join us inside digital marketing trainings, where they go from literally not knowing how to turn a computer on to building websites, launching landing pages, creating social media campaigns, showing their grandkids what to do. So what is the difference? How did they break through the fear of technology to create digital marketing results? Well, the key is this. Most people approach learning new technology with the old learning model. And what I'd love to share with you inside this video is the new learning model with the missing steps that will empower you to be able to learn any technology and master any skill set. So come with me over on this side, let's dive into it. So we call this model L.E.A.R.N.T, L.E.A.R.N.T. And of course, this model is how we approach teaching and training so many successful digital marketers inside our certificate programs. And when you come along to Digital Marketing for Beginners training, you get to experience it for yourself. So let's go through this together. You've probably heard in most scenarios, to approach learning, you first learn the theory or the strategy. You then have a go at putting it into action. And then the last step, if you've been around some of this material, is to teach it on. Now that sounds good at first glance. You learn it, you action it, you teach it. But here's what happens in reality. So you learn about social media. Now let's have a go put it into action. So you sit down, maybe log on to Canva, have a go putting together some posts, put it up onto your social media, and now you go on and teach it to someone else? Does that sound right? You're not sure if your post is working, if it does or if it doesn't. You're not entirely sure why it does or it isn't. Chances are, instead of teaching it on, you're more likely to be floundering around a little bit, asking for help, asking for opinions, asking for advice. Now, if you're lucky, you have people in your life who are experts, who have the results, who've got great social media strategy, and they can point out to you a little bit about where you went right or wrong with your actions. If you're unlucky, like a lot of people, you may go to friends or family who have just about as much clue as you do, and you get all these kind of conflicting advice everywhere, or one guru say do one thing, the other guru the next day say the complete opposite, and now you're starting to feel a bit lost yourself, let alone teach someone else about it. Now you notice that there are a couple of missing steps in between. So what is that? And we have found that these steps made a huge difference to the success of our marketers. So between learning it and actioning it, you need, in E, examples and models of success. So imagine this. Imagine after you learn what you need to do with social media, you have access to a library of successful social media posts. You have access to templates that you know are proven to work. So you can now build on top of that structure and add in your uniqueness, your message, but you're not starting with a blank slate. If you've ever sat down to write, to paint, and you started in silo, in a vacuum with just a blank page, it is so difficult to put pen down to paper and write that first word or make that first sketch. But if you have inspirations, if you have models, you have examples, you've done your research, now you're brimming with ideas. Has anyone had that experience? And better yet, you're brimming with ideas based on models of excellence that you know work. So here's how you approach finding examples. The examples you need, especially specifically in digital marketing, you want to research examples of the industry leaders. So who in your industry are the biggest brands, the biggest names, the most successful businesses? Have a look at their website, their social media, whatever it is that you're learning. Gather examples, models, a visual board of what's working for them right now. The next thing is you want to look at what your competitors are doing. What are the examples of what your competitors are doing, again, on social media? Or what does their website look like? Or what are their email marketing like? Gather example of your competitors, and now looking at the industry's best. Are you getting some ideas around how you can improve on that? Then as you get some experience, and this is part of what we help you do inside the program, we also help you to begin build up your best. So put this into practice and build up a library. Get in the habit of having a library of every single piece of work that you create. Gather the ones that get you the best results, or simply, if you're just starting out, you don't have any results yet, simply the ones that subjectively you feel are your best. Because now you can compare that against your industry best and your competitor. So find examples of the best in the industry, examples of what your competitors are doing, examples of what you've done that's worked really well, And for those of you, if you want to go more creative, more innovative, we also recommend looking at related industries. So biggest brands in the businesses that perhaps not exactly what you're doing, but relate to what you're doing. So for example, if you're in skincare and beauty, well, what are some major fashion brands doing that's working really well? If you're in digital marketing, what some of the biggest digital marketing schools and digital marketing agencies doing and what's working really well for them? Then you also want to look at unrelated industry. So for example, get ideas from what people are doing in other industries that perhaps people aren't doing in your industry yet, but it's succeeding, it's capturing attention. So look for inspirations in completely unrelated industries, and that's how you find creative ideas and innovations to bring into what you do. What happens, what you'll notice happen is that as you begin gathering these ideas and getting these examples together, the action starts to become clearer. You begin to get more ideas. You begin to have more of a guide and a template and a tool. And of course, if you're inside our certificate programs, what we do is we turn examples into data-driven templates that you can then leverage and utilize, knowing what the industry is doing, what the competitors are doing, what your best is, what related and unrelated industry leaders are doing, and leverage that when you take your action. So you're now taking action with certainty. You're taking action based on what's working, not by randomly guessing from what you've just learned. So everybody's seeing the difference in that. It gives people so much more confidence when they're starting and working with tools and templates. So from there, action alone isn't enough. The next missing step between action and be able to teach it on in a way that's effective, there's two more steps in between. Now, R here stands for results. And what that means is inside our certificate programs, what we help you do as you go through your course, and again, you get a bit of an experience of this inside Digital Marketing for Beginners coming up, is once you've taken that action, we're going to help you put that to the test. You're going to benchmark the action you've just taken against these examples that you've established earlier. You have an opportunity to gather feedback from experts, mentors, gather feedback from your peers. If you're in the executive level, we do peer reviews. You have an opportunity to launch it into the world and see what the market respond to you. So you begin to gather some results. Now, that does not only help give you confidence, it also helps you build credibility even while you're learning. We'll dive a little bit deeper into that in our next video and at the live training. So the result is such a critical step. Test and measure what results you're going to get. Now, as you begin to get a benchmark and get some ideas of what is or isn't working, the next step here you can see is N. And this is the key to breaking through the fear of digital marketing. As you follow the examples, take the action, benchmark your result against the models and the examples and the market research, tools and templates you have access to, you then, N stands for normalize. You normalize the best. You turn your best into business as usual. Now, what I mean by this is the first time you launch a landing page, perhaps it's scary, it's unknown, it's unfamiliar. Having the examples help make it more familiar. Having templates that are proven gives you a head start. You then continue taking that action and measuring the result until your best becomes the benchmark. The next time you do the next landing page, you get to improve on top of the best that you've created so far. The time after that, you improve on the best of the best that you've created so far. The next time after that, you improve on the best of the best of the best of what you've created so far, until the best becomes the new normal. One of the reasons why we've launched so many campaigns that have broken so many records and have literally delivered results that the industry has never heard of before is because we normalize the best. Each time we launch a campaign, it's our best campaign yet. Each time we improve one thing that make it better than the previous, but we're never starting from zero. We are always starting from the best yet. Is everyone with me so far? And then of course, the next step from there is to teach it. So for us, that meant templating the best of the best that we know is working and sharing that with others, sharing that with you, with students inside our program. For you, that could mean turning that into something you bring into your team. If you're an executive, bring into your clients. If you're a professional, bring into your business. If you're a business owner, so that on and on and on, the best becomes better and better and better. And that's what you teach. You earn the right to teach that and share that. and you earn the right to the credibility that will bring you. So I trust this is a phenomenal framework for you to start thinking about how do you approach learning technology in a way that makes it not so scary. So rather than learning it for the first time, then just having a go, not really sure whether it's going to work, and then supposedly teaching and sharing that on to other people, that sounds, I don't know if I'm ready for that. But now add in the missing steps. So learn the new technology, get examples, tools, and templates of what's working right now, then model that step by step as you go, ideally with help and feedback and support from experts and mentors around you. Then from there, test and measure your result against the best in the industry, your competitors, your best yet, and look for ideas in related and unrelated industry leaders. From there, get help from your mentors, get peer feedback and peer review, test it in a safe environment, either inside a global marketer community if you're one of our students, inside a small subset of your market, we'll show you how to do that, or have a go at putting it out there and see what results you get. Establish your best yet, and then keep building upon that best yet until the best is normal. As you normalize the best, then systemize that into templates, into systems that you can now teach and share with others. I trust it's a phenomenal model, and in true fashion, you've just learnt this model. You're gonna see an example of how that works when you come to digital marketing for beginners, and we're gonna help you apply this exact model into learning social media, website marketing, email marketing, covering as much as we can in the one day, and then continue our journey, hopefully with many of you, into the professional certificate programs. So that is the success system, and I'm so looking forward to diving deeper into this with you, and as so many global marketer students have done, for you to see for yourself just how capable you are of digital marketing success, and just how capable you are of learning new technology, and in fact learning any new skills that you put your mind to when you have the right support, the right models, and the right systems around you.